Good morning to everybody. Welcome to the channel Leadership Goals. My name is Cristian Batista, and I'm going to talk about some situations that a person must overcome to be a good leader in your workplace. What does it mean to be a good leader? Undoubtedly, a good leader is an honest person, a reference, someone charismatic who generates trust and respect, inspiration, and at the same time is capable of being completely committed to the cause. Do you know someone like that? Courage, innovation, vision, opportunity, and persistence are some of the elements that have led these leaders to transcend in the history, entrepreneurship, and development. The secret to solve a certain complicated situation isn't to see them as problems, but as a challenge. This is one of the tips recommended by successful people who are stand up as true leaders in their companies because they know how to handle all kinds of sudden circumstances. Let us discover some of their other tips below. First, envious people. There will be people like that. They will try to generate situations for fun in order to slow you down so that you cannot stand out. Therefore, you don't lose enthusiasm for what they say or think about your ideas and your way of being. Successful people ignore negative people and don't worry or waste their time for their famous what people will say. Unhappy with your successes. That person is likely to feel that your own brilliance eclipses them or simply a triumph you have achieved reminds him or her of some accomplishment they would have wished to conquer. Because the attitude of a person who is envious is so prone to comparison, that person is likely to show some sort of rivalry or competitiveness. That is, instead of sharing the best of each other within this relationship, they compete with you and position themselves in an inferior role. 2. Fear and danger. While fear is usually the result of imagining terrible hypothetical situations that we never want to go through, danger is something that happens beyond us. Successful leaders know the difference and pay attention to situations of risk and danger and manage to overcome their fears. Fear is not bad, however, it can cause us problems if we don't know how to take advantage of it. There are many opportunities that have been lost because of fear, personal, romantic, professional, group, and other opportunities. Opportunities that will not present themselves again and that might have turned out in a better way if they had not been guided by fear. Fear, the feeling of I can't, the feeling of not being good enough for the things we want to achieve. You will starve to death. If you decide to be an entrepreneur, nobody will buy your products. There are already many people doing what you want to do. You aren't good for this. All these thoughts go around in our head every time we want to move forward, and it is normal, but it depends on us to shut them up and move forward in spite of what we were thinking. 3. Aging. Yes, unbelievably, it is a big challenge we all face eventually. However, It is important to handle it with hate, to see age simply as a number and not as an impediment to do amazing things. People often believe that because they are older, they one cannot have an entrepreneurial spirit, and that is not true. You are never young or old enough to succeed. Successful people know this better than anyone else does, and that is why they are driven by their ideas and their passion, and not by a false belief that there is an age for doing certain things. There are many success stories that have proven that it is possible to fulfill your dreams at any time of your life, even past 40, from Chef Julia Child, who wrote her first cookbook at 15 years old. Your Harry Bernstein, author of numerous books that were rejected at 96, he wrote the one that will finally be accepted. It is never too late, and the following characters are an example of triumph. Stanley, he created his first successful comic book, The Fantastic Four, just before his 39th birthday. In the following years, he created the legendary Marvel Universe, whose characters, such as Spider-Man and X-Men, became American cultural icons. Henry Ford, he was 45 years old when he created the revolutionary Ford T. Harlan Sanders, better known as Colonel Sanders, he was 62 years old when he formed the Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise in 1952, which he would sell 12 years later for $2 million. They and many more people have built their empires after a certain advanced age. I tell you this just because it is taking you longer than others not mean you will not make it. For the world problems, reading a newspaper or watching the news can be discouraging when you realize how bad the world is and how little you can do about it. Of course, there is always something to do to take care of the environment, for example, but getting sad about things that are beyond your means is useless. Successful people do what they can, but they prioritize the problems that really involve them on a daily basis and worry out living one day at a time. In these times of pandemic, many people have gone ahead with ventures in areas such as online shopping, sales, which due to the distance these sites have been an option to buy what they need, and some of them take them to your home. Another case is the food delivery, and it is given because many people who like pizza, vegetable, or something they would like to afford to eat, which just a call can have it at the door of your home. 5. Mistakes. You had different options. You decided one on one, and unfortunately you made a mistake. What do? A successful leader knows how to put aside negative thoughts that don't add up and learn to turn the page. Time is money, and it is useless to spend hours regretting what you could have done to about the situation. If your bad situation generates a problem, solve it and move on. Mistakes are important in our life because if we don't make them, we don't learn. And if we don't learn, then what are we next? You will not lose anything if you try. But if you wait for it to happen by magic, you will be one of many who don't fight for what they want, and you will always depend on others. You fall, you get up, you learn, you grow, and create opportunities, and those opportunities are used to get ahead. Eh, I hope that these tips can to help you put it in practice, and you will see the result. So get out for that bet, put down the phone and go for that goal. See you another video clips. Greetings.